nut up or shut up.
Zombieland 2, the trailers totally undersold it, which I am happy about because I wasn't a fan of the trailers. I felt like they weren't really giving us anything new, but in this movie, it wasn't a retread of what they have already done. It was more of a progression of the story that we kind of wanted to see.
I get where they were coming from the trailers now seeing the movie, because if they did show a whole lot more, you kind of get the gist of what the story was going to be.
Sure.
And I feel like they didn't want to show you what the story was going to be, so
Right.
they kind of had to put some things in there, and because there's a whole lot of stuff that's on the trailer that does happen in this movie, and I think that it was a very good progression of these characters based off of where they're coming from in a world that is kind of stagnant, because there's technically no growth essentially, since there's a lot of zombies in this.
But at the same time, the trailers did spoil some stuff. There is a mid-credit scene and there is an end-credit scene, so stay for that. But the trailers giving us that kind of stuff felt like, all right, come watch this movie because. So instead of giving us a little bit of creativity, which is all throughout the movie, I love the dialogue, I love the moments that they end up having with each other. I love the kills, I love the usage of rules and new rules added to the story. But at the same time, it did feel like Zombieland, but like you said, a national progression of where they were before, and that's what was missing from the trailers that they do put in the film.
Yeah, you know, when you come into a second movie that has been for a sequel to a movie that's been out, and it's been a really long time since they've had that first movie, you're kind of hoping that you go into the story and not tread some of the same story beats, storylines, which that was kind of our worry that they were going to do that. But I think that they, like we said before, that progression with all of the characters and then adding some new characters just, you know, here and there to kind of fill that void of showing a little bit more than just our main characters. And I thought that the way that they added the new characters was very good. Like, it wasn't just like, oh, they're in there because we just need them to be there.
Correct, and that's what I was worried about from the trailer. Seeing Luke Wilson and Thomas Middleditch, I was worried that, oh great, they're just going to be portrayals of them and it's going to be silly, they're going more the comedic route. But I do love how they're utilized in the story, and the one big one that I was worried about was Madison. Madison in the story from the trailers is like, oh great, it's just a dumb character with no substance, but she actually is a lot of fun when she's paired up against them. She's more so just a ditz than she is dumb, so she added more to it, to an angle of somebody that would be in this world reacting to this world.
I totally agree with you, because you never want to go full dumb on a character. I feel like that dumbs down the story itself, and you're just kind of waiting there like, why are you doing this? And there are certain times where it feels like they're about to go over that hill of being too dumb, and you're like, okay, but it steps it back and she does something that kind of gives her like a little bit more of an edge, and you're like, okay, so yeah, she's just kind of a ditz type of character, which did bring out a lot of comedic timing, which was good. You know, you kind of have to have those in the movie. And what I also loved about the movie too is that there are several tracking shots in this movie. And at first, like, I was like, oh, this is all one tracking shot, and they do utilize it very well in certain scenes that you're like, okay, this is a lot of fun to find. And I love tracking shots, because I love when you can kind of get that whole story instead of there be quick cuts. It's like all one long thing.
It's the effort put into the choreography of the shot. Yes, you know, someone passes in front of the camera and more than likely that's their cut, but they utilize it for a dialogue scene, then they utilize it for the action scenes, and it feels like a good part of the story when they show these long tracking shots and the effort that goes into the choreography of the fight scenes. Now when it comes to the CG is really well done when it comes to the massive horde of zombies. They do a good job for where I'm watching and going, you know what, that doesn't look like a video game, it actually looks photoreal. So good job, guys. From 10 years ago to now, they stepped up the CG quality, and then the music, utilizing the certain songs of the film to represent what is happening in certain scenes. Once again, bringing in a little Metallica. I love it. So hearing that be a part of it, where it feels like we're going back but yet we're moving forward when it comes to the story.
So I would for my, you know, rating of this, I think I would give it a 4 out of 5, because yeah, it was a lot of fun. You had it, but you know, it's not like a masterpiece or anything. It's just a fun movie just to watch with
Self-aware.
zombies, and you have the characters that you've loved from the first movie. So a good solid 4 for me.
I give it a 4.5 because of the level of self-awareness. I mean, they really leaned into that. They leaned into the spoof aspect, but not feeling too spoofy. They didn't take their movie serious, but took it serious enough to where you feel a little bit of suspense in the film, wondering what is going to happen next, which I did enjoy with the finale of the first Zombieland. And they do kind of replicate that, but it does feel different in this film. But at the same time, they tread some new ground. So for me, 4.5. But either way, guys, what did you guys think of it? Let us know in the comments below if you saw it. If you didn't see it, check it out if you really like the first one. It's a breath of fresh air in the world of zombies. So you can also like and subscribe.
And do the thing on our Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, startup.
All the social networking you joints, you know where they are. Take the party, fuel the party, keep party going. The Patreon gets us where we need to go. Check out the vlog that we just shot at Halloween Horror Nights, Universal Studios, and there's a whole bunch of other trailer reactions available too. Thank you guys so much, and as always,
Now it's time to say goodbye.
Vanessa's doing supernatural reactions too. Check that out. Bye.
Bye.